Okay, guys. So with me now, I've got question paper here, June exam 2022. Itself for X question one. It's 24 marks out of 150, so that is 16%. So that is a good chunk, right? That's a good chunk. So uh, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it and see how it goes. Okay, the first question solved for X was X squared is equals to minus 4x, right? X squared is equals to minus 4x. It was a total of 3 marks. So in this case, when we solve for x, we want it to be equal to 0. So we will transpose this. We'll have x squared. We transpose, changes sign, 4x is equals to 0, right? And then we have two terms. We take out a common factor. X is our common factor. And then this side will be left with 4 is equals to 0. Then we apply the 0 principle. X is equals to 0, or x plus 4 is equals to 0. Therefore, x is equals to minus 4. So our solution, x is equals to 0 or x is equals to minus 4. We go back to the original equation. We plug these values. We will get the confirmation that this is the correct answer. The second question was x squared plus x minus 1 is equals to 0. It was also 3 marks. Here they said we must give the answer to two decimal places. So it clearly says we must use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula says x is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? This part is called the discriminant. We'll talk later about it. It's called the discriminant. This part is called the discriminant. We'll talk later about it. Okay, so we know that a is the coefficient of x squared. So in this case, a is 1, b is the coefficient of x, b is also 1, c is the constant, c is minus 1. So we can go right ahead and plug those values. So x is equals to minus 1 plus or minus the square root of b is 1 squared minus 4, a is 1, c is minus 1 all over 2 into a, which is 1. Therefore we have minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared is 1, negative by positive is negative by negative. It will be, negative by positive is negative, negative by negative is positive. 4 by 1 is 4, 4 by 1 is 4. So we have 4 all over 2. I do not have a calculator with me. So, but then x is equals to negative 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2, or x is equals to negative 1 minus the square root of 5 all over 2. You'll just have to leave your answer to two decimal places, just that I don't have a calculator with me now. Moving right along. We're going for the whole 24 marks, 16%, guys. It's a lot. The next question, x plus 4, the square root of x plus 4 minus 4 divided by the square root of x minus 2 is equals to 0. This was a total of 5 marks. We are solving for x. So in this case, we might multiply each and every term by the denominator, which is the square root of x minus 2. So we'll multiply this term, and this term. Or we might say, okay, since that side we have 0, let us transpose this one. Then it will change sign, right? It will change sign. And then when we get here, this is the same as divided by 1. We know that we can only cross multiply over the equal sign, right? So now we can cross multiply this multiplied by this, the square root of x plus 4 multiplied by the square root of x minus 2. So we are going to use this rule that the square root of a multiplied by the square root of b is the same of the square root of ab, right? So in this case, we will have the square root of x plus 4 into the square root of x minus 2 is equals to 1 by 4 is 4, right? So now we want to eliminate the root sign. What do? We square both sides. We know that. What we do on the left hand side, we also do on the right hand side. This square will eliminate the root sign, and rasalaka x plus 4 into x minus 2, and then this side will be having 16, right? And then if we are to break this one, because if we solve, we can't apply the zero principle here because it's not equal to 0, right? So we must break it down. This by this is x squared, x by this, it's minus 2x, 4 by x plus 4x, 4 by negative 2, negative 8, we transpose the 16, negative 16 is equals to 0, right? So now we have equals to 0, we can solve. But now let us do with the like terms. Negative 2x plus 4 is plus 2x, and then this negative by negative will be negative. Then we add them, 8 by 16, 8 plus 16 is 24, is equals to 0, right? So now we know the coefficient of x is 1. So the factors for the first term will be x, and x is equals to 0. So now we can solve for x because now we can, because it's equal to 0, right? The factors of 24, factors of 24 is 1 and 24. The last term is negative. The robots or our signs are going to be different. One will be positive, one will be negative. And then 2 and 12, we want those that can give uh, a 2, right? I think 4 and 6 is the combination we are looking for, right? And then we said the bigger factor will take the sign of the middle term. So the bigger factor, the middle term is positive, and then 4 will be here. So x minus 4 is equals to 0, the 0 principle, or x plus 6 is equals to 0 for x is equals to 4, x is equals to minus 6, right? Those are our values. 5 marks in the bag. Moving right along. Moving right along. The next question, inequalities. X plus 2. X plus 2 into minus 3x plus 1 is greater than 0. It was 3 marks. So they have made us halfway, because when we solve inequalities, we always want this side to be 0, right? And then if this side is 0, then we can say critical values. We call them critical values. After critical values, we equate this equation to 0. We make it an equation. We change it from an inequality to an equation. But after we say critical values, after our one, we are only looking for critical values, right? Okay, so now we can apply the 0 principle. X plus 2 is equals to 0, or minus 3x plus 1 is equals to 0. Therefore, x is equals to minus 2. If it, okay, let's minus 3x is equals to minus 1. We divide both sides by minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Therefore, x negative over negative is positive. X is equals to 1 over 3, right? But this is not the solution. This is only part of the solution. These are our critical values. So then now, let's draw a Young table. We draw a Young table, right? The first value is minus 2. Minus 2 will be here, and then 1 over 3, right? So now we choose a value that is less than negative 2, and we substitute it here. We substitute it here, right? Or here. We choose a value that is less than negative 2, and then we substitute here. We are only interested in the sign, not necessarily the value. We are only interested in the sign. So for an example, let's say we choose okay, so it's either we choose a value that is less than negative 2, that is between negative 2 and 1 over 3, or that is greater than 1 over 3, this side. So I like to always choose the easy one. So if I choose 0, 0 is here. 0 is between minus 2 and 1 over 3. So if we put 0 here, and then we put 0 here, 3 by 0 will be 0. 0 plus 1 will be 1. Here 0 plus 2 will be 2. 2 times 1 is 2. It's a positive. It says here we will have a positive value. So they alternate. If here is a positive value, here will be a negative value, here will be a negative value. Otherwise, if here was a negative, this side would be a positive, this side would be also a positive. They alternate, right? So you can check it. You can choose any value that is less than negative to any value. It will give you a negative value, right? Any value that is greater than a 1 over 3, it will give you a negative value. So we go back here. We are looking for x values that will make this portion less than 0, right? I mean greater than 0. And we know that all the numbers that are greater than 0 are positive. So this is our solution lies here, because all the numbers that are greater than 0 are positive. So our solution lies here. So our solution is x is greater than -2 but less than 1/3, because all the numbers that are greater than 0 are positive, right? Moving right along. Moving right along. Second last question was the simultaneous. Okay, so now we have a simultaneous equation. It was a total of 6 marks. So you know now we need to make either x or y the subject of the formula, right? Either x or y the subject of the formula. It would be easier from equation 1. Let's make y the subject of the formula. So 3 plus 2x is equals to y. That would be our equation 3, right? So now we want to substitute equation 3 into equation 2, right? Into equation 2, because if we substitute it to equation 1, we will get a 0. They are basically the same thing. So we go to equation 2. Wherever we see x, we put, wherever we see y, so we put 3 plus 2x. It had a square. 3 plus 5x into 3 plus 2x, right? So now we have 6x plus 4 into, we use inspection, square the first, 3 squared is 9, multiply together, 3 by 2x is 6, 6x and double, that would be 12x, we squared the last, that would be 4x squared. Now this side we have 3 plus this by this, 15x, this by this, 10x squared, right? So now we have 6x plus this by this is 36, this by this, 48x, this by this, 4 by 4x squared, 16x squared. We want to transpose, have everything on one side. You know that when they jump the equal sign, their sign changes, right? And then we have a 0 this side, right? We want to group the like terms, this one and this one. 16x squared minus 10x squared, that is 6x squared. 48x plus 6x, that is 54x. 54x minus 15x, that is 39x, right? 39x, 36 minus 3 minus 33 is equals to 0, right? So now we have to factorize. You know the drill, we want to make a 1 because it's always simpler to factorize when a is 1. The factors is x and x. So we take a, we multiply the last term. This is the part we do graph work, ne? So we'll have x squared plus 39x minus 198 is equals to 0. Right? No, not negative. Why? This is a mistake. 36 minus 3 is plus 33, right? It's plus 33. So this will also be positive, right? Okay, now the factors of the first term is x, and x is equals to 0. The last term is positive. Our signs are going to be the same. How are they going to be? They are going to be positive. So now the factors of 198, it's 1 and 198. 198 divided by 2, it will say 99. 198 divided by 3, it will say 66. We want the combination that can give us a 39. By 4, it will give us a decimal. By 5, it's a decimal. By 6, it's 33. Oh, wow. This is the combination we are looking for, right? It's 3, 3, and 6, right? So now you remember the 6 we multiplied the last time with. Now we divide each and every. We divide both the factors, right? We divide both the factors by the very same 6 that we multiplied with. So we reverse the situation that we initially create. So in this case, we have remember now. Okay, this by this 6x, you know, again you know. This multiplies that, and then 33, and then this will be x plus 1 is equals to 0. This can be simplified to 11 over 2, right? This can be simplified to 11 over 2, but then you remember when we factorize these two, they must give us the first term. When they must always give us the first term when we multiply them together, right? So 6x by x must give us 6x squared. So if we simplify this one to say this is 11, this is 2, it was going to be 2x and x. it was not going to give us the first term, right? The answers wouldn't be wrong, but then now the steps would be wrong. So now we go back there. 6x plus 33 x plus 1. Again, the part in red is the part that you're going to do graph work. Zero principle, or therefore 6x is equals to negative 33, x is equals to negative 33 over 6, or x is equals to negative 11 over 2. This side x is equals to negative 1, right? The corresponding y values, we said y is equals to 3 plus 2 into x minus 11 over 2. These two will cancel these two. So we have 3 positive by negative, negative. 11, 3 minus 11 is minus 8. So the test for this one is negative 11 over 2 and negative 8. For this one, we said y is equals to 3 plus into, again, so we substitute here to get the corresponding y values, right? So we have 3 positive by negative, negative 2. This one will be 1. So the pair is minus 1 and the pair of coordinates minus 1 and 1. All right? We got our 6 marks. Last question. Oh, wow. Last question, so that we can get the whole 24 marks, the whole 60, the whole 16%. So the last question is nature of roots. Okay, so guys, this one is on nature of roots. The question said, given this, given 9x squared minus 12px is equals to minus 4p squared. For which values of p will the equation have equal roots? I'll make a separate video on nature of roots, but for now, just because I don't want to make this video too long, let us just get on with the question, right? So for nature of roots, now for equal roots, with nature of roots, for equal roots, the discriminant has to be equal to 0. You remember the equation x is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? This part under the root sign is what we call the discriminant, right? So the discriminant has to be equal to 0 for equal roots, right? So the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, has to be equal to 0 for equal roots, right? For equal roots. So let us put our equation in order. We have 9x squared in the standard form, right? Minus 12px plus 4p squared is equals to 0, right? From here, it is clear, you can see that our a is equals to 9, the coefficient of x squared. Our b, the coefficient of x, is minus 12p, and then our c, the constant, is 4p squared. So then now let's come here and substitute. So our b minus 12p all squared minus 4a is 9, and then c is 4p all squared, right? They must be equal to 0, right? They must be equal to 0. So minus 12 squared, any number to the exponent even number is positive. So 12 squared is 144. P squared is that. Negative by positive, negative. Negative by negative, negative. 4 by 4, 16. 16 by 9. This by this is 54. We carry a 5. This by this is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. Oh, so it's 144. P squared is equals to 0. Then it says 0 is equals to 0. So in this case, it says P is the element of all real numbers. So P can be any number. P can be any number. This root will always be equal. P is the element of all real numbers. This was our 16%, guys. This was our 24 marks. Question 1. Solve for x. So there's no reason we should leave this. Also, I promise to make a separate video on nature of fruits. I'll make a separate video on nature of fruits. So for now, meet you on the next one. Oh, also, guys, please, on the YouTube channel, please subscribe, guys. Subscribe if you like this content, so that, yeah, I can get the fire to push out more content. Eh? Meet me on the next one. Meet you on the next one.